Hello and welcome, it's Sharon here from Mumsy Warrior and the date is the 16th of January 2023. Today I'm going to share with you two different psychologists. One is good and one is very, very bad. We've got Jordan Peterson, who's a psychologist in Canada, and then we've got Glenn Wilson, who's a psychologist in the UK. Now, I've written to my MP, Tonya Antoniazzi, about Glenn Wilson because of the clip that I saw to do with paedophile information exchange and his book, The Child Lovers. He basically claims that child abuse does not harm children. This is very, very scary. It needs a serious debate, and basically the elite academics are trying to gag us and prevent us from actually speaking out about this. We need to take this seriously, guys. I'm going to show you two clips. One of Jordan Peterson speaking about how he tried to stick up for the truckers who are activists and how their children were nearly taken away from them. And he tweeted that this was not a good idea, basically. And then we've got a clip of Glenn Wilson promoting child abuse. Now tell me, which psychologist should they be re-educating? It's pretty plain and simple, isn't it? It should be Glenn Wilson.
I retweeted Pierre Poilievre, who's Canada's leader of the opposition, when he was criticizing the mask lockdowns. I just retweeted him, and I said essentially that I agreed with him.
That's a complaint? They actually listed that as a complaint.
That's one of the complaints.
That's insane.
Yeah. They listed the fact that I criticized Justin Trudeau on multiple occasions. There's a complaint that at one point the police in Ottawa were threatening to act with Children's Aid to take the children away from the truckers in Ottawa and apprehend them on the grounds that their parents who were involved in the protest were endangering them. And I tweeted and said, I'm not so sure that we should get the police involved in taking away the children of protesters, and we should think about this. And apparently that makes me an untrustworthy advocate for children who face childhood sexual abuse.
Oh my gosh.
You're a mandatory reporter as a psychologist, eh? And so if it comes to your attention that someone has been abused, you're mandated to report it. And so apparently I'm now untrustworthy in that regard because I didn't want the police to conspire with idiot social workers in Ottawa to apprehend the children of protesters. And so that's another example of my reprehensible behavior.
In 1978, the group agreed to let psychologist Dr. Glenn Wilson meet and study their members. The experience was to become the basis of his book, The Child Lovers.
In terms of personality, they were not obviously psychotic or even excessively neurotic. They were a little bit on the introvert, shy, awkward. Because what was unusual about this project was that it was a group of paedophiles who were functioning in society. They were not yet in jail or being treated by the psychiatric services.
The book suggests, first of all, you say they were happy to talk to you because you didn't condemn them. You say that at that point, at the time of writing, that research shows no lasting harm to the sexual and social development of children. Do you still believe that?
It's extremely difficult to prove that a non-rape encounter between an older man and a teenage boy of 14 or 15 does any very great lasting harm.
I doubt Jordan Peterson will see this video, but if there are any people with morals and values that care about children and do not want them to end up being child abuse victims, then please share this video privately and just help people understand what's going on right now. Check out Public Child Protection Wales. They really need funding because they are being fined, I believe, for trying to protect our kids, trying to give them the education they deserve. Because right now, You know, education failed me. I was taught ITA English twaddle as a child. That's an alien backward language that made no sense at all. This was implemented in schools on purpose to prevent us from leaving school and being able to have a life and do well in life. They want us to be illiterate, because if you're illiterate, you cannot complain. So that's their plan, and it needs to be stopped. My daughter was failed in school. I had to take her out of school, and she's a home education success story. So, but they won't support home education in this country because they want to control us. It's all about control. So, you know, these poor working class mums at Public Child Protection Wales, they need support. Please support them. Just, even if you could just spare a couple of pounds and just ask other people, just £2, £1, something, or just share the video. If you can share the video, just do something. If we end up living in a world where they promote child abuse as normal, as not child abuse, as something, you know, that's okay, and brainwash children to believing that child abuse is okay, and that, you know, they need to be acting out sexually as children with adults, then we're going to be living in a very, very dangerous world indeed. No child will be safe. So I leave you with that thought. Please support and help the whistleblowers. They're trying to gag us. I know you're frightened of losing your job. Just share privately. Do what you can, you know, privately. And here's to freedom. Bye-bye.